Hi everyone, I would like to show you how I made this beautiful wave painting using just 3 tools. Let's do it!
So to get started, I'm using a pink color, just one simple color to lay down the background color for this canvas, and I'm using a simple side-to-side motion to cover the entire canvas. Now we'll speed this process up until I've got the entire canvas covered. I'm also painting the sides of the canvas as well. You don't have to do this, but it's just something I like to do. Also, I just want to say that I am not using any water on my brush. I'm just using paint. Now I'm creating a crisscross technique with my brush. It's the same exact brush. I'm using the same paint colors. I'm just adding a little bit of white to my brush. So you're picking up pink first, then white. You can use however much of each color that you want. I'm just doing a little bit of pink, a little bit of white, and crisscrossing it over the background that I already have. This is kind of what I call a double background. It just gives the canvas a bit more coverage and creates a more textured looking background, which is something that I really like. Something to remember as you're doing this crisscross painting pattern is I'm using a lot of paint. I'm probably only doing about 5 or 6 crisscrosses before I'm adding more pink, more white to my brush, and more crisscrosses. Because the more you do a crisscross into this, and as your paint gets onto the canvas, you are going to start losing some of that paint on your brush and just blending those colors into one solid color. Whereas if you are continuously adding thicker paint onto the paintbrush and crisscrossing, it's giving it that more textured look between the white and the pink. Since I know there's going to be a wave over the top of this pink background, I'm going to blend this lighter pink into this darker pink as I go. I'm going to wipe off some of the white paint that's on my brush and use the darker pink to blend it into that color as I go. Here is a close-up of the pink and white crisscross pattern. The paint is still wet. I will come back to this when this is dry so I can start doing the wave on top of it. Start off doing just a chalk sketch of a single wave curl so I can go by that up close. You can feel free to freehand it. I just like to do this because when you're really up close to a canvas, sometimes you think it looks okay and then you step back and it's not proportionate. So just doing a simple chalk curl. Now comes a fun part with the paint scraper. I'm going to actually do the wave now. I'm taking a teal color, a magenta color, and a dark purple color, and I'm putting them straight onto the paint scraper. And all I'm doing is scraping them in the shape of the wave straight onto the canvas. This is going to take a little while. This process is a little tedious, but I think it's kind of fun at the same time. At least I enjoy it. I don't know if anybody out there has done this. They probably have, but this just popped into my head one day and I started doing it and I absolutely loved it. So I hope maybe others will love it as well. There's no correct way to do this either. I'm using the same 3 paint colors and I'm just filling the whole entire wave out with this. But the biggest point of it is to make the paint very, very thick. Feel free to get creative with this. If you find a way that works better for you or you want to move the paint in another way, go for it. I think that's one of the great things about art is just you're free to be your creative self. As you can see, it's morning. I'm in a new outfit. So that means I've had the canvas drying overnight. And this part I am just taking, there should be some very thick paint ridges on the wave. And this is going to make it perfect for putting a lighter teal color over the wave with a palette knife. And that's all I'm doing here, just lightly scraping the palette knife over the ridges of the wave. So I'm going to do the same technique here using a light pink instead of the teal. I'm using the same palette knife and doing the same exact motions, just lightly covering the wave with this pink color. Now you can do this in any area you want. Sometimes I like to do it in the entire wave, or most of the time I like to have the lighter colors be more towards the top of the wave, or just play around with it. It's whatever you want to do with it. Just have fun. Again, I'm doing the same technique. This time I'm using metallic gold color and doing the same technique, same palette knife, scraping over the top, just laying down the metallic gold how I see it looks good in the wave. This next part is really fun because it's kind of where the whole wave is really coming together and you're pulling all the highlights. You can really start to see the details and the movement of the wave. So I'm taking a round brush, or one of those brushes that you use to blend clouds, I think. I forget what it's called, but it's a very round, poofy paintbrush. And I'm just taking that same light teal color and just lightly putting a little bit of paint on the brush and just lightly touching the top of the wave, adding in bits of this light color all over the top of the wave until I get a satisfied look with how I like. All I'm doing is repeating this same motion lightly with the round brush, adding more and more layers of this light teal color until I have a thick top to the wave, or whatever area you would like. For the last part of the wave, I am taking the same brush, which I've wiped off that teal color paint, and just added some white paint to the top of the wave, just in small parts of the top of the wave. You don't want to completely cover the light teal that you did, just going in to give that top of the wave some extra highlights with the white. That's pretty much it, guys. Just putting a little signature on it. This is the final piece and how it came out. I am obsessed.